Hello students, good afternoon. Today we will discuss the topic fermenter, its parts and their functions. We can also call it as design of a fermenter. What is fermenter that we have discussed in last video? Fermenter is a large vessel that is equipped with all the ancillary equipments to provide optimum conditions for growth of microorganisms in a large vessel to get the product. Now, regarding the design of a fermenter, first we should see what is fermentation. The industrial processes that make use of microorganisms are often called as fermentation, or we can call it as a microbial process which converts a valueless substrate into a valuable product. It is a microbial process in which the chemical changes are brought about in an organic substrate which gives a valuable product from ordinary valueless or worthless substrate. In terms of biochemistry, fermentation is an ATP generating process in which the electron donor and electron acceptor both are organic compounds. For industrial use of microorganisms, these microorganisms are grown in a large vessel containing considerable quantity of nutrient medium. The amount of medium is huge in terms of lakhs of liters. These vessels in which this medium is added, the microorganism is inoculated in that to get a product are called as fermenters. They are also called as bioreactors. These fermenters are designed to provide optimum conditions, and these optimum conditions are important for growth of microorganisms and for synthesis of the desired product by microorganisms. Fermenters allow easy manipulation of all the conditions like temperature, pH, foaming, aeration and agitation. Now, how a fermenter should be? An ideal fermenter should have the provision for aeration and agitation. Aeration is to supply oxygen for growth of aerobic microorganisms, and agitation is mixing or stirring in order to mix the microorganisms throughout the medium in uniform concentration. Agitation is also required to mix the constituents of medium uniformly. Agitation is also important for uniform aeration throughout the medium. So, fermenter must have a provision for aeration and agitation. Fermenter must have baffles. Fermenter should have inoculation points for microorganisms, media and supplements. There should be a sampling point. There should be provision for controlling the foam. There should be provision for controlling temperature, pH. Fermenter must be easily sterilizable. There should be a drainage point for drainage of fermented media, which we call as fermented broth. There should be provision for harvesting the product. There should be provision for cleaning the fermenter, and there should be a facility for providing hot or cold water and sterile compressed air during aeration. These are the diagrams showing an open fermenter and closed fermenter. Open fermenter is on the right side and closed fermenter is on the left side. These fermenters are with all the provisions that I have already discussed. Sparger is for aeration. Agitator or impeller is for agitation. There is fresh media feed, liquid exit flow. Acid base indicates pH control, antifoam indicates foam control. There is level sensor, dissolved O2 sensor and thermocouple. These labels you can see in the open fermenter. In the closed fermenter also you can see sparger, pH probe, temperature probe, cold water outlet, cold water inlet, then the provision to remove the filtered waste gases, pressure gauge, acid or base adjustment for pH, impellers, antifoam reservoir, antifoam addition, inoculation point, etc. In the design of a fermenter, there are three important points. One is the material of construction. It is foremost important. the provision for agitation, the provision for aeration and baffles, control and monitoring the fermentation, control of temperature, DO, that is dissolved oxygen, pH, pressure and food. This is design of a batch fermenter. This diagram shows the design of a batch fermenter. Here you can get an idea how the fermenter is, how the liquid medium is added into the fermenter, how the mixing device is working, how there is an outer jacket where we can add the cold water or hot water for temperature control, how the aeration is happening, the rising bubbles you can see in the diagram, the valve you can see, sterile seal you can see, inoculum point is there, and all the provisions required for the fermentation are shown diagrammatically. Now we'll start our discussion with fermenter capacity, that is capacity of a fermenter. Capacity of a fermenter is of two types. We call some volume as total volume of the fermenter and working volume of the fermenter. Total volume of the fermenter indicates the volume of the medium when the fermenter is completely filled, and actual operation, during actual operation the fermenters are never completely filled, but 1/3 to 1/5 head space is maintained, and therefore the fermenters are filled only up to 3/4 maximum. Therefore this head space is maintained for splashing, foaming and aeration of the liquid. A fermenter is usually a large cylindrical vessel of varying capacities. There are different types of fermenters based on their capacities. Some fermenters are called as laboratory scale fermenters, some are called as pilot plants, some are called as large scale fermenters, some are called as Horton spheres. Laboratory scale fermenters are the smallest fermenters. They have the capacity of 1 liter, 2 liter, 3 liter, 5 liter up to 15 liters. Pilot plants are larger than the laboratory scale fermenters with a size of 15 to 200 gallons up to 2000 gallons. 1 gallon is nearly 4.5 liters. So pilot plant may come with 15 gallon capacity or 100 gallon capacity or 500 gallon capacity or 2000 gallon capacity. Larger than this are the large scale fermenters with the capacity of 10,000 to 1 lakh gallons. The fermenters which are larger than this are called as Horton spheres. They are spherical rather than cylindrical, and their size is, their capacity is 2,50,000 to 5 lakh gallons. The construction material for fermenter is very important. Selection of construction material should be based on some criteria. The criteria are: the material should not be corrosive, it should not add any toxic ions to the fermentation media, the material for fermenter must be sterilizable. We sterilize the fermenter by using steam under pressure, so it should be sterilizable. It should be able to withstand high pressure that is exerted due to large volume of the medium and the pressure exerted due to liberated gases. It should tolerate temperature and pH fluctuations that happen during the process of fermentation. It must control contamination. All these things are considered while selecting the construction material for a fermenter. The construction material that is used for fermenter is 316 stainless steel or 306 stainless steel. Some fermenters are made up of copper or some other metal, but they are internally lined with glass. Some fermenters are carried out in ancient manner by using wooden fermenters. Now the next part of the fermenter is sparger. Spargers are used for aeration in the fermentation. Aerobic microorganisms require supply of sterile air. Therefore, this sterile air is supplied through spargers. Before passing air into the fermenter, air must be sterilized, and the air is sterilized by filtration. Air is filtered through gun cotton filters or cotton filters, and then the air is compressed and then passed through the sparger. Air is provided into the medium in the form of small bubbles. Small bubbles rise through the medium and the air is dissolved into the medium. Smaller the bubbles, larger is the surface area. So there is larger efficiency of dissolution of oxygen into the medium. Therefore, small bubbles provide larger surface area and provide more dissolved oxygen into the medium. Size of holes in the sparger is 1/64 to 1/32 of an inch, or if the organism is mycelial, the size may be larger up to 1/4 inch. These diagrams are showing some spargers. These spargers have small holes, you can see them. Through these small holes, air under pressure is forced. That air rises into the medium in the form of small bubbles that rise through the medium, and the oxygen gets dissolved into the medium. Next part of the fermenter is impeller. Impeller is used for agitation. Agitation means stirring or mixing device. Impellers are an agitation device. They are mounted on shaft and introduced into the fermenter through its lid. Means there is a central shaft. On this shaft the impeller blades are mounted and this shaft is fixed onto the lid of the fermenter. It is driven with a motor. They are made up of impeller blades and the position may vary according to its need. The impellers or impeller blades are attached to the motor on a lid. The important function of an impeller is to mix the microorganisms, medium and oxygen uniformly. Impellers are available in many forms. Their number and position depends upon size of the fermenter and the requirement of fermentation. Impellers also help in breaking the foam bubbles in the headspace of the fermenter. An additional pair of impeller blades is mounted in the headspace. There is no medium in the headspace, but foam builds up into the headspace, and for breaking this foam, these impeller blades are useful. This foam is formed during the process of fermentation. So here the diagrams are showing some of the impellers. Disc turbine impellers, Vane disc turbine impellers, variable pitch open turbine impellers and marine propeller like impellers. Here you will get a clear idea how the impellers are. They are like the blades of the fan that move and that rotate and mix the medium and the contents. It is required to achieve a number of mixing objectives for oxygen transfer, heat transfer, suspension of solid particles, maintaining a uniform temperature and creating a local turbulence. The next important part of fermenter is baffles. Baffles are mounted in the fermenter. Due to vigorous aeration and agitation, there may be formation of vortex. If this vortex is not broken, the fermentation media may spill out of the fermenter and it may cause rapid exclusion of gases. To avoid the vortex formation, baffles are mounted on the walls of a fermenter. The important function of baffles is to break the vortex formed, and this is done by obstructing high speed circular motion of the liquid. So in this diagram you can see baffles. They are mounted on the sides of the fermenter, onto the walls of the fermenter. The next part of fermenter, inoculum port or inoculation port. Inoculation port is the provision for adding fermentation medium, inoculum and substrate in the fermentation tank. When we are adding fermentation medium or the starter culture or substrate into the fermentation tank, care should be taken that the port provides aseptic transfer. The inoculation port should be easy to sterilize. Sampling point. Sampling point is used for time to time withdrawal of samples to monitor the fermentation process and quality control. The sampling point should provide aseptic withdrawal of the sample. this sample is withdrawn to monitor the fermentation. During the fermentation, there should be decrease in the substrate concentration, increase in the product concentration. There should not be any contamination. All this should be checked by withdrawing the sample, and for this the sampling point is necessary. This is the diagram that shows a typical fermenter, again industrial fermenter. Here you can clearly see the sparger with the holes, impeller blades, the motor that is driving the impeller, pH control device, steam injection port, cooling jacket, the harvesting or drain point, etc. Temperature control. During the fermentation process, various reactions takes place in the fermenter. Heat is generated and released in the fermentation medium. This increase in temperature is detrimental to the growth of microorganisms. This may slow down the fermentation process. Therefore, the temperature should be controlled. Temperature control device generally contains a thermometer and cooling coils or jackets around the fermenters. The cooling coils are lined internal to the fermenters, while jackets are surrounding the fermenter, around the fermenter. Temperature control is done by passing cool water through the coils or jackets present around the fermenter. The next is foam controlling device. Foam is generated during the fermentation. How the foam is generated and why the foam is generated? The fermentation media usually contain proteins and peptides. Vigorous aeration, agitation and presence of these proteins or peptides into the medium leads to formation of foam. This foam rises on and occupies the head space. It is necessary to remove or neutralize this foam with the help of anti-foaming agents. A foam controlling device is placed on top of the fermenter with an inlet into the fermenter. This device contains a small tank containing the anti-foam agent. This is called as anti-foam reservoir. Bottom drainage system. It is an aseptic outlet present at the bottom of the fermenter. Why this outlet is important? It is required for removal of the fermented medium, that is the fermented broth, and the product formed during fermentation. Valve. Fermenters are never tightly sealed. There must be some provision, some place for escape of gases that are introduced during aeration and the gases that are formed during fermentation. Butterfly valve is one such valve that is used in the lid of the fermenter. Steam line. Steam supply line is required for sterilization of fermenter, ancillary equipments and medium. This is about the parts of the fermenter and their functions. Thank you.